Hi and welcome. I'm going to keep this short and simple. Let me show you just how easy it is to create professional looking web graphics with Photoshop once you've learnt the essential design skills. And don't be scared, it's really not that difficult, which is exactly why we've created these tutorial videos to help people like you create all sorts of cool and professional looking web graphics to use on any of your sites. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you just how quick and easy it is to create a just like the one you see below on the sales page. Now I've basically started by creating a blank image 980 by 250 pixels with a transparent background. Now let's recreate that image and show just how quick and easy it is. But remember, these tutorial videos will show you exactly how to do all of this. So don't worry if you don't follow everything I do in this video. This is just to illustrate how quick and easy it is to create professional graphics once you've got the right training on the Photoshop Essentials. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is click on the rectangle drawing tool, which is down here. Make sure that's selected. Make sure you don't have anything selected on stroke, and all we need to do is create a box that's bigger than our image itself. It doesn't matter the size, just make sure it covers everything. And now we just click or double click on the layer itself, and we go for gradient overlay, and let's click on the gradients available and scroll down and choose the one I want. I'm going to go for this last one down here. Click on OK. Now at the moment it goes from dark to light, and I actually prefer it light to dark, so I'm going to click on the reverse to upturn it so it's actually from light to dark. Then if that's not dark enough or not light enough, I can play with the scale to get it to where I want. I'm going to go with 120 and click on OK. Okay, so now I'm going to add an overlay effect. So I'm just going to open up my folder where I've got some overlays, specifically wavy lines, which is the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to move that down out of the way a bit so that I can get to the layer, and I just drag and drop that layer onto the image itself, and I can move it around to get where I'm happy with it. And maybe I want to actually stretch this out a bit. Let's pull it out so I've got less waves going on. Now the other thing here is I probably want this slightly lighter so that it doesn't interfere with my other images on the header. So I'm going to change the opacity. Let's get it down a bit to around 55%. You can see that's actually now a bit lighter. Now I'm going to create a reflection, so I'm going to run an action script. Now I've only got one here to keep things simple, but all I need to do is click on Start and then choose Run, and it'll open up the page or the box for that. Then I'm just going to grab the item, the object that I want to run that on. I'm going to move it down here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab the particular layer that I want to run the action on, drop it into there, choose Render, hit play, it runs, and now have my object with my reflection. And now all we need to do is pop that reflected object into my header. So let's move it down here so I can see what I'm doing. Out of the way, click the three layers that are the reflected object itself, drag it and drop it, and then I can just move it around wherever I want it. Let's say over here on the left. There we go. Now I'm going to grab a style for the text that we're going to add to this particular image. So again, I'm going to go to my folder. There are a bunch of these again in the WP Web Graphics pack in the design snippets. So it's style 5 that I've got here. And again, let's move it down here so I can see what I'm doing. And all I need to do is grab the layers that I want, which is pretty much all of them, except the background. And I'm going to drag those over here onto my main image. Let's get rid of that and move this to where I want. Let's center it up, make sure I've got it fitting just right, and move it around a little bit more, center it just right. Now I want to change the red background here, so I'm going to choose the layer that is. It's rectangle 2, and double click, and what I'll do is I'll just pick the color from the surround for our object so that it matches that. Obviously we also need to change the color for the text, so let's go to that and double click, and we just need to go to gradient overlay again and pick a suitable gradient overlay. Let's go for something a bit darker. Let's go with that one, click on OK and click on OK. Okay, so we've got a bit of a gap over here on the right, so we're going to add another object. So let's go back to my folder, and what have I got? I've got a butterfly here, I think, in that one. Yep, let's open that up. Let's drag it down here so again I can see what I'm doing. Let's drag and drop it onto my image, and I want to move it around, get it where I want. Now I do also want to resize that, it's a bit big. So let's knock it down to, let's say 50% and 50% to keep the, That's 50% and 50% to keep the aspect ratio correct. And let's move it around again to make sure it is exactly where I want. It is a bit loud though, and the colours don't exactly match what we want, so I'm going to go with Control U to bring up hue and saturation. And let's move this over here so you can see the effect. I'm just going to whop that all the way down to -180 so it makes it the same colour basically as our background on the image. Now it does fit in nicely, but it probably blends a bit too much into the background colours, so let's add a bit of a glow so that it just stands out a bit. And again, I'm going to move this around so you can see what I'm doing. If I just change the size of the glow to make it a bit bigger, I can make that quite a lot bigger, but I probably want something like around 10. And click on OK, we can now see that it stands out a bit better. And there's one more little effect I'm going to add. Let's just pull up a new layer. Oops, add a new layer. And let's add a little bit of a sparkle using one of the brushes. Let's make a sparkle up here on the right. And Control T lets me just turn that around a bit so it's at a different angle. There we go. So we've now got a sparkle on the corner of our banner as well. Now the last thing we really need to do is just overwrite the text that we've got, the default text in there, with what we actually want our words on our banner to say. So what I'm going to do is quickly pause the video while I actually type in the relevant bits of text. So there we go, I just typed in the text that I want, and we've now created a professional header graphic in under 5 minutes. Now we did go through that pretty quickly, and we did this header graphic in minutes. But don't worry, the tutorial videos are a lot calmer and easier to follow to make sure you pick up every bit of the essential skills you need to create cool and professional looking graphics. There's 2 Photoshop courses containing 22 short videos, most less than 8 minutes long, where we show you everything you need to know to be able to create all sorts of professional web graphics, not just headers. And for a limited time, we have also enclosed 2 tool packs containing some of the best Photoshop everyday tools and resources, plus a huge graphics bundle exclusive to PS Masterclass customers.